So this is the top we will be creating today. I found this flower pattern online and just decided to add it to the cups. So I mixed two together. So this is the final product, and then this is the back. Very easy, adjustable, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. So yeah, this is the design. So let's get started. So first we're going to start with chains. I'm chaining 13 because I am a B cup, size medium, and that is a chain 13. But I will list some other measurements for you on the side. Then once you finish chaining, you're going to single crochet all the way back down where we came from. So you're just going to single crochet all the way down until you reach the final chain at the end, and then leave that one open. I'll show you what to do once we get to the end of this row. So have a stitch marker nearby or something to pin it with, and you're going to make 3 single crochets in the same stitch, the last stitch. So instead of 1, you're going to make 3 in the same stitch at the end. And then you take the stitch marker and you're going to place it in the middle stitch that we made, the middle single crochet that we made. So we know that that will be the center of our cups. Then once you do that, you're just going to single crochet down the other side of this row. So you just keep going and you single crochet all the way back down. So once you reach the end, you're going to do one last single crochet and then chain 1 and then turn your work. And then you single crochet back the other side. And you keep doing that until, again, when we reach the stitch marker, you remove it. And in that same stitch, you single crochet 3 times in the same stitch. So where the stitch marker was, you remove it and then do 3 single crochets. And then again, you take the stitch marker and you place it into the second single crochet, the middle one that you made, because that is the center of our cup. And then you repeat the process and then single crochet back down the other side. So once you repeat this process over and over until you reach the size that you feel fits best for you, this is what it will look like. And then for the next part, we're going to make a cute little border surrounding it. You're going to chain 3 and then turn the work. So what you're going to do is skip 1, double crochet into the next one, and then chain 2. So wait for it, chain 2, and then again, skip 1, double crochet into the next one, chain 2. So you're making these gaps, these little windows as the border of the cup. And then you repeat this. And once you get to the top here where the stitch marker is, you remove it. Same thing, double crochet, chain 2, and then go back in to the same stitch. So for this one at the top, you're just going to do double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet back in the same. And then you just repeat, and then you skip 1, chain 2, same thing. So just the top there is just a little different, but the rest is the same. So yeah, you are going to repeat this a second time so that we have 2 cups, and then I will show you how to make the flower pattern. So to start on the flower pattern, we're going to make a loop, chain 4, and then slip stitch into the first chain we made, and then chain 3. And then from here we make 1 double crochet into the center, and then we make a second double crochet into the center, and then chain 1. So what we're doing is making like a cluster of 2 double crochets. So make another double crochet and then a second one, and then chain 1. So you're making 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1. And that's the pattern until you have a total of eight sets of these double crochets. So 8 2 double crochets, if that makes sense. So now we are closing up the circle. You slip stitch and just make sure you have a total of 16 double crochets. So 2 double crochets in each section, totaling 8 of those. And then we're going to cut our yarn and close it off like this. And then what we're going to do is switch colors. So you pick whatever color you want, and the next 2 rows will be in this color. This is going to be the flower petal of the flower. So the actual flower is going to be this color, so keep that in mind. So we're going to slip stitch our yarn through so that we are ready to go. And you're going to slip stitch it into one of the gaps in between the 2 sets. So you're going to chain 3 and then double crochet in that same gap, and then chain 2 and then make another 2 double crochets in that same gap. And then we go into the next gap that you can find. Make a double crochet, a second double crochet in the same gap, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochets in that same gap. And then after that, you move right into the next gap. Again, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets. And you do that all the way around. So now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that last stitch, and that was row 2. So now we're going to go to row 3. So you slip stitch into one of the big gaps that you see there in one of the corners of the double crochets we made, and then you're going to chain 3 and then literally just double crochet 7 times into the same stitch, same gap. So you double crochet 7 times. And then once you're done, you move right into the second corner. Make a double crochet and then 6 more. So 7 double crochets in total. And you do that in the same gap. And then you move on to the next one. It's basically the corner. So the top of that, the corner where you made the double crochets and then the chain 2 space, that's where you're going to do it. So now that we finished with that, we're going to switch colors. So I'm using this baby pink, and then you're going to make a loop and insert it at the top of one of those double crochets that we made. And then we're going to single crochet and then make single crochets all the way at the top of where we made the 7 double crochets. And then I'll show you what to do. Once we get to this part where there's like a hole right below it, you're going to dip down. Instead of the next single crochet, you make the single crochet lower, so in between those. And then right very next to it, you have to kind of like dig through a little to make sure you get every single crochet that is at the top of that petal. So just make sure you're getting all the single crochets, you're not leaving a single one out. And then again, single crochet instead, down, grab it, there we go. And then right behind that one, you grab that single crochet as well. And you keep doing that, and this is what's making the outline of the flower. So it's all single crochet. The only difference is in between the petals, there's that gap that you're gonna have to dip down low. There's a space there for you to grab. It's just right there if you can see it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just single crochet. So now that we finished with that, we are going to start making it into a square so that it's nice and square, like a granny square, for us to attach it to our cups. So take another color. I'm using this pink, this darker pink, and make a loop. And then you're gonna have to slip stitch it into the one right next to that deeper single crochet we made. So it has to be in this spot. So you're gonna make 4 single crochets, 4 separate single crochets along the top, and then you're going to make a half double crochet. This will be the pattern. And then you're going to make a double crochet, and then another double crochet. Okay, so that's where we are. And then a treble crochet, a treble, and then chain 3, and in the same stitch another treble. So this is the corner. So those 2 trebles and the chain 3 are in the same stitch, and then a double crochet right after that, a second double crochet after that, and then half double crochet, and then 4 single crochets along the next 4. So this is going to be on repeat now. So I'll show you this middle section, but it's basically the same. So you're after the 4 single crochets, right? So now it's starting to take form. You're going to half double crochet, and then go back in, make 4 more single crochets. So the pattern is written above, but just to verbally explain, after the 4 single crochets, another half double crochet. I'm going kind of fast, and then double crochet, a second double crochet, and then you're going to do the corner again. So once you complete that, this is what it will look like, a very nice square. And then to make it bigger, basically, I just single crochet over and over on repeat until it's as big as I like it to be. So I'm gonna make this kind of like a cropped, cute little crochet top. So yeah, you just continue to single crochet all around the corners. And when you get to the corner, I usually just make single crochets until it doesn't fit anymore. I'll show you what I mean, but this part's really easy. It's just a simple single crochet, and then yeah, I make, let's see how many I make, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I guess you can fit 5 single crochets. And yeah, I just do that all the way along the top, and I keep going until it's the size that I like. So this part is with personal preference. I like to block my granny squares. I notice that it is helpful to extend, like stretch out the granny square so that it's flat, nice and flat, and as big as it possibly can be. I spray some water on it and I let it dry, and it's just a nice way to stretch out your work a little bit. So now that we're done with all 3 granny squares, we're going to sew the squares together, and I will show you how I do that using the mattress stitch. So I take a needle and I pull the yarn through. So we're going to go to the corner at the bottom and basically insert it through the low loop of the square, so the loop that is closest to the inside, and then take the yarn and make sure you have enough to reach the whole thing. And then you're basically doing the same thing on the other side. The inner loop, you're pulling it through like that, and you're just making sure they are together. So I will show you again up close. So the inner loop, you're putting the needle through it, out, in, outside, in. So again with the other side, you're pulling it through the inner loop, just not the whole loop, but the one closest to the inside, outside going in, and then you pull it close together, and then you repeat this process. This is the mattress stitch. So you're basically taking the inner loop and pulling them together, just like that. Sometimes it's hard to explain, but if you can see it, maybe it will help better. And yeah, I just do that until it's all together. So once you do that on both sides, these stitch markers are basically where I'm going to place the cups. So I already put it up to my chest and I measured it where I want it to sit nicely on my chest area. This is kind of up to your interpretation. You have to measure it yourself and pin it where it fits your chest the best. So these points are where I want to place the cups. So I already attached it on one side and I will show you how I do it on the other side. It's very simple. If you were able to sew the squares together, you can do this too, but I will show you as well. So you're going to remove the stitch marker where you want the corner of your cup to be and insert the needle through both of the loops. So for this one, I'm doing both instead of just the inner part of the loop because I want it to be more sturdy. And I'm honestly just grabbing any point that I can for the cup where I feel like it will stay on pretty sturdy. You know, you want to grab a good amount of loop so that it holds, right? And then again with the other stitch like we did, the mattress stitch, you're basically just inserting the needle through both of those like little loops at the top, and then again on the other side. It's not going to show because it's the same color and it looks fine, but yeah, that's basically how you sew it. Nothing crazy. And I know the bottom of this cup, it's not like the cleanest. It doesn't have the cleanest chains to grab from. So you kind of have to like just find a space where you can to connect them. So for this part, I am inserting a completely separate loop. I'm making a single crochet along this side because we're going to start making the ties that wrap around your back to hold. So I single crochet a line along the top of this part of this side, and then it's very, very simple. This is just kind of like for security. That's why I don't start it directly from the corner. I like to start it in a place where I feel like it's less likely to unravel or fall apart. So you make a single crochet row along the top of this side, and I'm single crocheting over the tail. And then from here, you're going to branch out and just start chaining. And I chained 100 because it wraps around my back with a little bow, which is what I like to do. So you're going to keep on chaining. And then once you reach the length that you want, which is 100, I'm just going to show you what to do after that. So once you finish with your 100 chains, you're just going to literally go back down and slip stitch. I like the slip stitch for this one because it makes it less thick and it's kind of like a nice little stringy tie. So that's what you're going to do going all the way back down once you have 100 chains. I'm just showing you with this small section so that you get the idea. But yeah, and then you come back here and then I'll show you what to do. And continue single crocheting down to the middle section here. And then again, you're going to branch out and make 100 more chains. And then slip stitch down, and then again in the corner. So you're making 3 ties total on one side. And then again on the other side, you're basically making 1 long chain, another long chain, and another long chain, 3. And then at the top of the cups, you're going to make the same thing. You insert the loop, slip stitch, and then chain like as many as you want that wrap around your neck, and then down again. I know I went kind of fast with explaining it, but sometimes it's easier to just show it. So I went ahead and made it. And so I made 3 separate chains and then 2 chains at the top there. And this is what it would look like. And then I'll show you how it looks like on the actual body.
I think it fits super nicely. Very easy to adjust the back. And yeah, this is the final product. So I hope you enjoyed it. There's so many variations you can make with this top, different colors. So yes, thank you for watching. Please tag me in, if you create it, tag me and show me how it came out for you, and I can repost you, and I love to see it. And then also follow my social media at my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my TikTok, all the same name, and then my Etsy, if you're curious to see some of my products, Case by Cloud. So yes, thank you for watching, and subscribe to see more videos. Thank you.